Alrighty guys, so now we're going to jump into the Fidelity desktop platform just to show you what that interface looks like, and we're also going to go through a couple of the different research features. But the first thing I want to do here is just give you an overview of the homepage when you log into your Fidelity account, and this will be the same login that you created earlier on in the tutorial. So first of all, from the main page here, you can see the balance in your account. You can also get an update on the markets here on the right. If you scroll down here, you can see top movers in the market, as well as the most active stocks that people are trading. And you can also click here to get information on earnings dates for your stocks in your portfolio, dividend dates that are coming up if you own any dividend stocks, and other stocks that you might own that have hit 52-week highs, 52-week lows, etc. And you'll also have a news feed here that's going to be curated to your investments in your portfolio, or you can click on top news to see what are the top economic news articles that have come out today. Now, one thing I wanted to mention here is that our order here for the Fidelity 500 index fund did end up closing, but it took until the end of the trading day, and that's because these mutual fund orders are all going to be settled at the same time, which is going to be a few hours after the market closes. Now, after clicking on this brings us over to the research page for that Fidelity 500 index fund, and if you are looking to do research on funds or stocks, things like that, you might find the desktop platform is a little bit more robust and just has a better layout here of the overall information for you. But for now, I want to navigate over to my portfolio. So for that, we're going to hover over accounts and trade, and we're going to click on portfolio. From here, it brings us back to the main screen that we were just on, but in this case, what we're going to do is click on the positions tab, and this is going to show us our positions that we have. So first of all, we have our extra cash, which is held in that money market account. That was the setting that we chose earlier. And then we also have the Fidelity 500 index fund fractional share investment here. We ended up buying 0.255 shares, and we also have our investment in Nvidia. Now, so far, even since buying that, we've actually lost a little bit of money here on Nvidia. It's down about 78 cents, or overall down 1.79% from our purchase date, and the investment in the Fidelity 500 index fund is actually up a very small amount here, 0.04%. Now, you're not going to need to pay attention to things that closely, but I just wanted to show you how you'd be able to tell whether or not you are up or down on a particular investment. And at the bottom, it shows us the performance for our portfolio overall. So we started off with $100. We now have $99.30. So technically, we've lost 0.7%, roughly 0.78 here it says, or roughly 70 cents. But again, you're not going to worry about things on that short term of a time horizon. What matters with the stock market is how these perform over the long run, which is going to be many financial quarters, if not many years projected out into the future. What I want to show you now is some of the built-in research tools here with the Fidelity desktop platform, and I'm not going to be able to cover everything in this video, otherwise this would be like a 3-hour video because there's just so much that Fidelity offers. Each one of these tabs here has at least a dozen different things you can look into. You know, they have planning and advice if you wanted to get into having retirement planning services. We are going to touch on the robo investing portion later on, as that is a pretty useful feature. Under news and research, you can do research on all of these different types of financial assets. Products is going to show you all the different offerings they have. They even get into life insurance, annuities, health savings accounts, 529s, you name it, and Fidelity has it built in if it's related to investing or managing your money. But what we're going to start with now is going over here to the news and research, and we're going to click on mutual funds. This is going to bring up the fund screener for us, so if you wanted to look for a particular type of mutual fund for your investment goals, you could use this to find and narrow down your criteria. So this drop down here allows you to choose the asset class if you're looking for alternatives, commodities, international equity, etc., money market, bonds, all sorts of different options. So we're just going to select US equity for now in this particular case. And then you can also choose whether you're looking for Fidelity funds. So let's say you're just looking for Fidelity funds only, as those are going to be some of the best options as a Fidelity investor. And then you can also look at ones that have a minimum investment of less than $2,500, so that would also be useful. And let's say you're looking for an index approach to management instead of an active approach. That means you're not paying mutual fund managers to actively pick and choose the investments. Instead, it is just going to be a passive approach where they are following an underlying index. Over here, you can choose options as far as their expenses, returns, returns and overall Morningstar rating. So let's say you're looking for low expense funds only. We'll leave the return the way it is, and we'll leave Morningstar rating just the way it is. And this tells us there's going to be 16 funds that meet our criteria. So if we click on that, it brings up a list of all of these Fidelity funds that are going to be in the US equities market. And right on top there we have the Fidelity 500 index fund, but there's all of these different options here if you wanted to further explore these. Now, one popular group of funds are these Fidelity Zero Index Mutual Funds. So we're going to click on one here, the Fidelity Large Cap Index Fund. And if you're looking to minimize your costs as much as possible here, you might consider these funds, because the key benefit here is they have a net expense ratio of 0.00%, meaning that you aren't paying any expenses to the fund managers for managing your money in this particular fund. Now, this is not going to be the same as investing in the Fidelity 500 index fund in terms of the portfolio mix, so make sure you do research on these Fidelity Zero index funds before you decide to invest in them. But if you are looking to minimize fees, this is one of the best options out there. But let's say instead of looking for a mutual fund, you're looking for an ETF or exchange traded fund. You would go up here to the news and research tab, and then you could use the ETF screener and do the same thing that I just showed you here, but instead of looking at mutual funds, this would allow you to screen over 2,500 plus ETFs, and you can look through all of these different providers. So if you wanted to just see what Fidelity had to offer, you could look at all of their different categories of ETFs here. Sector ETFs that are going to be specific to one segment of the economy, actively managed ETFs, fixed income, factor, thematic, and even digital asset funds. If we click on those, for example, this is going to bring us over to their crypto ETFs, and they have three particular funds here. They have FBTC, the Fidelity Wise Origin Bitcoin Fund, FETH, the Fidelity Ethereum Fund, and they also have FDIG, which is the Fidelity Crypto Industry and Digital Payments ETF. Now, FBTC is going to have 100% allocation into Bitcoin, FETH is 100% allocation into Ethereum, and FDIG is going to own companies that have exposure to cryptocurrencies or digital payments, so that's not specifically owning cryptocurrencies themselves. So for example, if we click here on FBTC, just to get a general idea of what this ETF is about, we can see here there is 100% holdings in Bitcoin, so there's nothing else that this fund owns, and it also mentions their net expense ratio of 0.25%. That is a little bit higher than a lot of their other products, but this is their new and trendy ETF, so they are cashing in a little bit here and making their money. And as you can see, this has become quite popular with 10.52 billion in net assets being invested in this crypto ETF alone. So the ETF screener can be extremely useful if you're looking to find ETFs that you want to invest in. And the other research tool I want to show you here is the stocks screener. Now, individual stock investing is really not recommended for the majority of people out there. Long-term investing in index funds or ETFs, for example, is what most people should be looking to do. But that being said, I still want to show you how these tools work in case you are looking to own any individual stocks in your portfolio. After clicking on stocks, it brings you to this page here, which is going to show you the top rated stocks within each sector. For example, it's going to show you the largest trades in terms of orders placed by Fidelity customers. So this can be good for a high-level overview. For example, if you're looking for communication services related stocks, the top symbol there is Verizon, or some of these other options here for real estate, utilities, information technologies, etc. But let's say, for example, you are looking for companies that are reporting earnings soon. You can click here, and this is going to give you a list of companies that are all expected to be reporting earnings soon. Now, it's not recommended to trade stocks around earnings, but again, this is where you would find that. You can also find companies with upcoming dividend payments by clicking on this, and this is going to show you companies that have stock splits that are planned out in the foreseeable future. But what I want to show you now is the actual screener tool for stocks. So if you click on screener tools and click on start a stock screen, this will bring you to a different page here, which is going to activate the stock screener. So this is going to show you where you can look at themes, for example, which is going to be managed strategies from Fidelity experts, or you can click here on strategies and you can pick different strategies. For example, popular, growth and value, technical income, etc. But if you wanted to just look at particular stocks, for example, and not strategies, you would then click over here and you can choose different selections. For example, market capitalization. Let's say you were only interested in mega cap stocks. If you check that box, it's going to narrow you down now to just the 29 companies that are worth 315 billion and above. From here, if you wanted to add additional criteria, for example, if we look here at dividends, dividends, let's say you're looking for stocks based on dividend yield, you can click here and say that you're looking for mega cap companies with a medium dividend yield in excess of basically 2.25%. This now gives you a list of those specific stocks that are both large cap and have a dividend yield in that set range. So this can be great for just getting ideas for different investments, and you can play around with all of these tools with any type of Fidelity account that you have. Now I'm going to show you how to sell an investment using Fidelity, and this is not something that you should be planning on doing yourself in terms of quickly buying and selling investments. However, just for demo purposes, it is going to be useful, and we're going to do this on desktop just so you're familiar with both interfaces. The first thing you're going to do is hover over accounts and trade, and then you can click here on account positions, and this is going to bring us back to our positions tab that we visited earlier. So let's say, for example, you wanted to sell Nvidia even though you were down. Let's say you wanted to sell off $20 worth of that position. What you would do from here is click on the trade button in the top left, and this is going to bring up the order ticket window. So first thing you have to do here is select your account, and if you have multiple accounts, you'll be able to choose it from that drop down, and then you are going to type in the symbol or select it from your list. So we're going to choose Nvidia here, and it shows you the current quotation price for this. And you can have the option here to sell in either shares or dollar amounts, as well as buy in shares or dollars. So we're going to sell in dollars, and we're going to sell off $20 worth of this particular position, and we want to do a market order so that way it executes immediately, and this will get us an estimated $20 after we sell. From here, we're going to click on the preview order button, and this is actually an interesting teachable moment here because we're actually doing this video before the market opened at about 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so we're not actually able to place that order just yet. So what I'll do is later on when we revisit the app, I will go through the sale over there, but now you are at least familiar with the steps here that you'd follow on the desktop too. But what about transferring funds back to your bank account from your Fidelity account? Let's say you have some investment gains, you sell off some stocks, and you're looking to move that money to your bank account. If you want to do that, you're going to click here on the transfers tab, and this is going to give you all sorts of different options for what you're looking to do. So we're looking to do an EFT, electronic funds transfer to or from a bank, so we're going to click on that. And then from here, you're going to choose the account to transfer from. So in this case, it's going to be our individual portfolio account, and right now we don't have any withdrawable cash because it hasn't settled the deposit that we made, but I will walk you through the steps as far as we can go here. And then you're going to choose your to account, which is going to be your bank account. And at this point, you can choose if it's a one-time or a recurring transfer. We're going to do a one-time transfer, and let's just put in $1. Now, it's probably not going to let me go any further here, but if we click here on continue, it actually does, which is cool. So this is telling us we have to sell some investments and free up cash to complete the transfer. So if we scroll down here, it gives us options for investments that we could sell if we wanted to complete that transfer. From here, we would just click on continue and then verify those transfer details. In most cases, you'd want to have settled cash available to transfer versus having to sell off some of your investments in order to have the funds for that transfer. Now, before we switch back over to the app, the last thing I want to show you in the desktop view here is the Fidelity Robo Advisor. To get to that, you're going to hover over planning and advice, and then you have the Robo Investing Plus Advice here. So we're going to click on that, and this brings us over to the page here for the Fidelity Go Robo Advisor. So if you're looking to invest in a diversified manner without doing all of the picking and choosing of investments yourself, this Fidelity Robo Advisor is a really popular option. So a few details here about this is there is no advisory fee for balances under $25,000. So if you're just starting out, that's actually a benefit here because you're not going to pay any advisory fees. Now, once you have a balance of $25,000 or more, you're going to pay a 0.35% advisory fee, which is still a lot less than you'd be paying for a in-person financial advisor, for example. Now, you will still pay an expense ratio associated with the mutual funds and ETFs that are going to be in your portfolio, so the advisory fee is in addition to that, but it comes with the benefit here of not having to manage your portfolio. If you scroll down here, you can learn about how they build these strategies to meet your goals, for example. So you're going to fill out information about your risk tolerance, and that's going to change the diversification of your portfolio. So if you're looking for a more conservative approach, that would be a lot of money in bonds, a small amount in stocks, and then some amount here in short-term investments or bonds, whatever that may be in that category. Or let's say you were looking for a very aggressive approach, that would be 70% domestic, 30% foreign stocks, and nothing in bonds. And if you were middle of the road, that's something similar similar to what your portfolio might look like, and it will also adjust this over time as you approach retirement or whatever the goal is that you set. So this is something you might want to check out yourself after you dive into the Fidelity platform if you want help with managing your money.